Goeienaand, good evening fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And earlier this evening we had a fantastic live stream with Louis Mankies, who is the president of the TLUSA, which is a farming organization and the oldest farming organization in South Africa. It actually predates the Boer War when it was founded. Quite extraordinary organization, doing all sorts of amazing stuff. And let's get onto the main subject now, and that is what is happening with the EFF and why are they so quiet at the moment? Well, they're ducking and diving for cover. That's why. Both Julius Malema and Floyd Shivambu are both facing huge corruption charges, which are self-evident, but of course this lackadaisical, inefficient, incompetent National Prosecuting Authority have actually not acted on them yet. But we have more information about how they money launder, how they stole from the VBS bank, and where the money went. So let me tell you the story. Let's start off with Floyd Shivambu. Okay, Floyd Shivambu is the deputy president of the EFF. And we'll start off with a tweet that he sent. He said, "Haita, please don't forget to activate that intervention. I'm in great need." This is Floyd Shivambu. Floyd Shivambu sent this distressed flare of a message to businessman Lawrence Malazi in a WhatsApp message on the 27th of March 2017. The message is one of a series of cell phone discussions between Shivambu and Malazi, who had been probed by the Party Commission investigating wrongdoings at the Public Investment Corporation. The type of intervention Shivambu appealed for was clear. He followed up his plea with the FNB account details of his slush fund, Grand Azania Pty Limited. Before the end of 2017, Malazi deposited R500,000 worth in interventions to Grand Azania. The sequence of events following Shivambu's great need is to date the clearest case study of how he solicits possibly illegal cash when he then personally directs towards front companies to be used in support of his lifestyle. It's called black privilege. This appears to be a prime example of money laundering. In return for these interventions, the evidence suggests that Shivambu used his political influence to bring a profitable deal to Malazi. Scorpio's 11-month investigation into the extracurricular activities of EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu was triggered by the R2 billion robbery of VBS Mutual Bank. A web of patronage set up to supplement Shivambu's income through supporting his lifestyle and political aspirations surfaced piece by piece over months as an increasing number of disenchanted sources came forward. Our findings in this article focus only on his wedding and are supported by 3 sets of bank accounts, private cell phones, messages, bank statements and emails between Shivambu and his benefactors, as well as key documents and sources. Shivambu and Malazi, of course, deny all wrongdoings. The great need became clear upon the comparison of Shivambu's messages to Malazi with the Grand Azania bank statements. There was only R745.41 left in the Grand Azania bank account when he fired off the distress signal to Malazi. By 27th of March 2017, Grand Azania had already paid R100,000 marked as FS Wedding to events company Be Sure Events Solutions. His wedding to Sefishili Pezi was a month away, and his slush fund was empty. So Shivambu kept on pushing Malazi. Between 27th and 29th of March 2017, he sent multiple messages emphasizing his great need. In one of the messages, Malazi placated Shivambu, saying, "Evening, DP, I sent instructions to process outstanding matter." And later, DP instructions were sent. Let's give them a few hours. On the afternoon of the 29th of March 2017, a 200,000 rand payment from Malazi indeed reflected in the Grand Azania bank statements. Now let's have a look at that. So there you see the payments. Isn't that interesting? A few days later, on the 10th of April 2017, Malazi was rewarded with an SMS invitation to the Shivambu wedding. It read, "Greetings, you and partner are cordially invited to a traditional event by Amokela Mati Waka Shivambu. The event will happen as follows. Date, Saturday the 29th of April 2017, time 1100 hours, venue Shivambu, Mahonisi Village, Malamelele, Limpopo Province. Please RSVP via text message so we can make necessary arrangements. Please dress comfortably. Please note that this invitation is not transferable and should be kept private. Regards, NFS." And Shivambu's names are Nico Floyd Shivambu. While Shivambu's great cash flow need was alleviated by Malazi's 200,000 rand on 29th of March 2017, Grand Azania's account was further fattened by another 190,000 untraceable cash deposit effected in Sandton on the 10th of April 2017, as well as a 300,000 rand deposit on the 2nd of March 2017 from a second Shivambu benefactor. And let's have a look at that. Over the weekend of the 29th of April 2017, Shivambu wed Pezi in a traditional ceremony that put his slush fund back by at least 570,000 rand. Guests to the affair including EFF leaders Julius Malema, Dali Mpofu, Godrich Gadi and Umbuyiseni Ndlozi, as well as Minister of Justice Ronald Lamola, Deputy Minister of Finance David Masondo, and Vavenda King Mfefu Ramabulana. Shivambu's master of ceremonies was Given Mkari, owner of Power FM. Using his benefactor's money, Shivambu's slush fund, Grand Azania, made the following payments between the 24th of March and the 5th of May 2017. About 50,000 rand to the photographer from Toye Nandu, 207,000 rand to Be Sure Events Solutions, and more than 36,000 rand for accommodation in the Malamela area. These payments included video and photograph Floyd wedding, Shivambu wedding, Benny Mayangani Shivambu, FS wedding, and photography Floyd wedding. The Grand Azania bank card also paid 15,454 rand and 36 cents at Mapani's store, 13,923 rand at ShopRite Malamalele, and withdrew 14,000 rand at ATMs in the area between April the 26th and May the 2nd. Entertainment of the wedding added about 80,000 rand to the bill, which included fees to popular local artists Prince Rangani, 16,000 rand, Benny Mayangani, 30,000 rand, and Worship House, 22,500 rand. It was a roaring wedding party funded by Shivambu benefactors through Grand Azania, a company that he swore he had nothing to do with. A day after the wedding, on the evening of the 30th of April, Shivambu cleared up any doubt about what Malaladzi's intervention was all about. Shivambu told Malaladzi in another cell phone message, "Thank you very much for the assistance towards the success of the wedding. We had a very fulfilling event to welcome Makoti, the new bride. Waka Shivambu and all who partook are very happy and satisfied. I really appreciate it." He attached 2 photos of himself and Pezi taken the day of their wedding. Malaladzi replied, "You're welcome, my brother. Have good time together. It was beautiful." Bank statements showed that Malaladzi paid another 300,000 rand in 3 tranches to Grand Azania between November 2016 and September 2017, totaling his interventions. at 500,000 rand for this period. Shivambu did not declare any of the deposits to Parliament. So what did Shivambu do to receive these gifts from Malazi? Another series of cell phone messages suggest a long-standing working relationship between the two, eloquently explained by Amabogani's Susie Comrie. Worth repeating is, however, how in January 2017 he sends this message to Malazi. How are you? I was able to talk to the chairman of a JSE-listed company, and he's committed to talk when he returns from Davos on the 22nd of January. You must remind me of what we have to talk about. Malazi replied with, excellent. Scorpio has analysed about 1,000 transactions affected into and out of the FNB account of Grand Azania between 2016 and 2018. Floyd Shivambu's fingerprints are all over the bank statements. His identification number and variations of his name appear about 80 times in the bank statements. These variations include FS Shivambu, Nyiko, and Floyd. Variations of Brian Shivambu's name only appear 13 times despite being the ostensible owner of the account. The names of Shivambu's daughter, his wife, as well as the names of his brothers and parents further appear in the bank statements as beneficiaries of the slush fund. In the second part of the series, it'll be detailed how the Grand Azania bank card followed Shivambu around southern Africa. In an attempt to get to the bottom of his great need, Scorpio sent Shivambu 2 mails dated the 9th September and 2nd of October 2019 containing questions relating to his wedding, which seems to have been funded by a money laundering scheme he himself directed. Shivambu responded erratically, firing off 6 emails in reply, 2 of these containing contradicting claims. On the 2nd of October, just after 3 p.m., Shivambu said, Grand Azania does not belong to me, it belongs to my brother, and that's a fact. Floyd Shivambu's name may not appear on company documents, and in that sense his claim is correct. In that investigation, Scorpio showed, however, that Shivambu effectively controlled and benefited from Grand Azania. In the second installment in the series, Scorpio's analysis further suggests that Brian Shivambu received very little of the money and only managed the Grand Azania account on his brother's behalf. Bank statements reflect, for example, where payments were effected to be sure events for the wedding. The name of Shivambu, answer, was used as a description. Brian's second name is Answer. Let's have a look at those. Floyd Shivambu continued in his email saying, all the assistance I got for my wedding came from close family friends, and there was no conflict of interest, none whatsoever. He referred Scorpio to section 9.3.6 of the Code of Conduct for Members of Parliament. It reads, the following kinds of financial interests are registrable interests and must be disclosed. Gifts and hospitality in excess of 1,500 rand from a source other than a family member or permanent companion, or gifts of a traditional nature, provided that this does not create a conflict of interest for the member. It seems as if Shivambu's attempt to argue he did not need to declare Malazi's assistance to Parliament by using a rule that states he should have. After 3 hours later, Shivambu flipped, arguing that the wrong phone and WhatsApp conversation had been hacked. Malazi never denied the veracity of the text message. The additional 4 mails accuse this journalist of a romantic relationship with workman's attorney Bernard Hotz, or having her wedding funded with state money. She's unmarried, and of being Hotz's wife. Hotz conducted some of the work on several investigations the EFF may be in trouble for. Shivambu has, however, like Malema and the EFF, consistently failed to engage with, answer, or explain any of the material facts which shine a spotlight on their criminality. Details of Malazi's involvement in Takaso Energy, Total South Africa, Kilimanjaro Capital, and Black Gold Oil and Gas spilled into the public gaze last year. Screenshots of text messages between Malazi and several high-profile politicians and government officials were submitted by a whistleblower to the Budlender inquiry into controversial PIC dealings last year, M&G reported. The conversations between Malazi and Shivambu was captured in these whistleblower leaks. All was not well with Malazi's fantastical multi-billion rand deals, Amabungani found, and reported that his leaked text messages suggested he had an open line to former PIC CEO Dan Machila and former head of risk management at the PIC, Paul Magula. Magula is another team player in the VBS robbery. It has been revealed how Magula splurged his 12.89 million rand in VBS loot on cars, a property and a home renovation. Malazi complained that the negative press had cost him billions in good deals over the past few months. When Daily Maverick Scorpio telephonically questioned him about the messages and cash to Shivambu, he further declined to comment on what he labels recycled articles, saying he was treated very unfairly and I'm sick and tired of the baseless stories tanking my business deals and tarnishing my image. I work with billions. I've lost billions thanks to these stories. I don't care about the 500,000 rand. It is my money. I can gift money to whomever I want. When detailed questions were sent to Malazi, he first declined to answer. Baseless questions. A second email sent almost an hour later said, I also want to put in record that I never gave any gift to Mr. Shivambu. Malazi's about turn is understandable. Shivambu declared nothing of his 570,000 rand wedding intervention to Parliament. And so it is that Floyd Shivambu finds himself in a catch-22 situation. If he agrees that Grand Azania is his, Shivambu in effect agrees to what made the biggest scale corruption and money laundering. If he continues to deny any link to Grand Azania, he will be in trouble with Parliament after the company spent over 500,000 rand on his wedding, a crime that may carry a 2-year prison sentence. So, this is a space worth following. And, talking about corruption in the EFF, how about one Julius Malema? Well, this man is so corrupt, it's quite extraordinary. A fraudulent application for a home loan with the defunct VBS Mutual Bank has reportedly cast light on a slush fund allegedly used to channel money to the EFF or its leader, Julius Malema. According to the Sunday Times, the investigation into VBS and the money that was looted from the bank has led to the discovery of a bond application and a company linked to Malema's cousin, Fumi Jimmy Mutlebiani. The newspaper reported that Mutlebiani is a director of a company called Santa Clara Trading that received deposits totaling millions of rands from Malema's lawyers and other companies doing work for the Limpopo government and the EFF. It is alleged that Malema's attorney, Ian Levette, appears to have deposited 300,000 rand into the account in March 2017 alone. Grand Azania, a company linked to EFF Deputy President that we've just been talking about, Floyd Shivambu, reportedly deposited 500,000 rand to Santa Clara. Levitt declined to comment on the payments. It was previously reported that Grand Azania received 6.16 million rand from VBS Mutual Bank and 8.74 million rand from other dubious sources. However, analysis of the flow of funds into Grand Azania showed it paid 500,000 rand to Santa Clara. That this would suggest that money from VBS, which folded after being looted out of almost 2 billion rand at the expense of poor account holders and struggling municipalities, found its way into Malema's or the EFF's hand through Santa Clara, the report says. In total, just over 4 million rand in payments into Santa Clara's account have been flagged as concerning in an accompanying analysis of the statement. Malema denied having any relationship with Santa Clara, but confirmed Mutlebiana is his cousin. He also reportedly said that the Sunday Times wanted to destroy a legitimate business because of its association with the leader of the Red Berets. According to the report, Mutlebiani applied for a bond to buy a 4-bedroom home, 4-bathroom house for 3.2 million rand in a gated complex in the upmarket Polokwane suburb of Bendor in October 2017. He initially listed his income as 5,000 rand per month, with 2,500 rand as his monthly expenses, but then later amended the loan application, stating that he had a monthly income of 155,000 rand. Wow, that's a big jump. Santa Clara was put on the radar because another of Malema's cousins, Phalang Matsabane, who is the director of Mahuna Investments, emailed the bond application to a VBS manager. Amabagani previously reported that Mahuna Investments was paid allegedly kickbacks by a fleet management company just before it won a 1.2 billion rand contract from the city of Johannesburg. The same company also allegedly paid 150,000 rand to Santa Clara in October 2018, the report stated. EFF spokesperson Umbuyiseni Kondom Ndlozi confirmed to the Sunday Times that the party deposited money into Santa Clara's account for services rendered. Ndlozi told the paper, "The company is one of our service providers and we use it from time to time for things like posters, sound hire and events management, among other things. We once used it as a proxy to register one of our vehicles and car rentals." Well, there you go. Both Julius Malema, the president of the EFF, and Floyd Shivambu, the deputy president, are deep in the poo, and I just cannot wait for the court cases to come up. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video, please share this video, and above all, stay safe. Bye for now.